Hello internet, my name's Catherine. I don't have my tripod with me, so I'm just going to be holding you guys. But today I'm going to show you guys how I do acrylic pours. I recently started getting into this type of painting and I think it is so fun, so easy, and something that I think a lot of people would be interested in. So I decided to film a video and show you guys how I do it. All you're going to need is some acrylic paint, glue, water, some cups, a canvas, and something to stir your paint with. So let's get going. So here is my setup. I just have this folded piece of poster paper and these little like coaster type things. You can use anything that'll just elevate your canvas a little bit. And as you can see, I have a lot of paint that gets on there. So it's just to protect the surface that you're working with. My surface already has a lot of paint on it, but better safe than sorry. And then I have all of my cups, which I use to do painting. So this has some water in it, which we'll use to make the mixing fluid, and these are what I use to put my paints in. If you let them dry, you can just reuse the same cups over and over again, which is a lot better for the environment, so I recommend doing that. And then to mix, I just use these little paint knife type things that I have, so I can just reuse them, which is great. And then this is the cup that I use for dirty pours, which I will explain right now. Okay, excuse the absolute heinous lighting in here. This is kind of my little art alcove, and the only lighting that we have is just so yellow. And also I am sweating like a pig because there's also no air conditioning in here, and it's like 90 degrees outside, but we're just gonna roll with it. So there are two different ways to do acrylic pours. You can do a traditional kind of clean pour, or you can do a dirty pour. I've done both and I like both. It just depends on what you want to do. So a clean pour, you would mix up your colors and your mixing solution in each of their individual little paint cups, and then you would drizzle them on to the canvas. So this gives you control of where the colors go and how much of which color you have and stuff like that. That's a clean or traditional pour. A dirty pour is where you take one cup and then you take the colors that you have pre-mixed and you pour them in however you would want to. You can do different layers, different amounts, stuff like that, a different pattern to it, and then you would put your canvas over the cup, flip it over, and lift it up, and then all the paint would just swirl around the canvas. So there's less control with this. I think both are really, really fun. If you have a look you know you're going for, I think a clean pour is probably better for that. But dirty pours are really fun and freeing, honestly, and very satisfying to watch the paint just kind of swoosh. And you can also kind of move it along the canvas before you lift it up, and that'll kind of get some paint different places. So those are the two methods. I hope that made sense. And then just as an example of the types of paint that I use, any paint, literally you can get acrylic paint from the dollar store, will be fine. So like I have all different ones here. I have this apple barrel one, I have this Ceram Coat one, I have just like the Craft Essentials one. So like these are max like $2 each. Like one of these was like 69 cents, $1.40 something, and like $1.60. So super affordable. If you know you're gonna be doing this a lot, or like you know you're going to use a certain color a lot, you could buy bigger ones off of like Amazon or something like that, and that would just be cheaper. Yeah. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about how to make your mixing solution. All you're going to need is some water and some clear Elmer's glue. It doesn't have to be Elmer's, just any glue. Probably doesn't even have to be clear, but I like clear just so I'm not affecting the color of my paint at all. Essentially, this is what we're gonna mix with our paints to get them a little bit more liquidy so that they flow and pour a little bit more. This isn't an exact science at all. It's really kind of up to you. You're just gonna want a runnier consistency. You can do this two ways. I have done both. You can either take your water in a cup and take your glue and add about equal parts glue to water, and then mix that up and then add this to your paints, or you can just pour a little bit of water, pour a little bit of glue into each of your color cups, and mix it like that. That's the method that I am going to be using, just because then you're really only using exactly what you need to, and I've done that and found success with it. So let's go. So these are the colors that I will be using. You can use as little or as many as you want. I am just using this light pink, a gold, and a white. And then to show you about how much, there is some white that is dried down here, so it's not as much, but I do have the most white. I have a little amount of gold and a little amount of pink. So yeah, now we're just gonna add the glue and everything. So I'm gonna start off by adding the glue. We're just gonna squirt a little bit in there. That's good. Just about like a tablespoon is probably fine. And obviously it depends also on how much paint you have. The more paint, the more glue and water solution you're gonna wanna have. And then just equal parts water-ish. It's not exact, obviously. So now I'm just going to show you the consistency. As you can see, it's liquidy. It's going to drip like that. I have like very little in here, and the pink is a little runnier than I would like it to. As you can see, it's like really watery, but we're just going to work with it and it'll all be good. So now I just set my canvas down on these. You could use yogurt cups, regular cups, thumbtacks, anything to just keep it a little bit off of the surface, so when it dries, all the paint can kind of drip off of it. I am using an 8x8 canvas, and the amount of paint I have will be more than enough for that. So you probably only need about one kind of half to full cup of this, which is just like a teeny tiny little cup, to fit a whole canvas like that. And today I'm feeling like doing a dirty pour just because I feel like that's a little bit harder to explain how to do. So I am just gonna take my paints, pour them in here, and we'll be all set to go. So here, as you can see, I have my 3 colors and then my dirty pour cup, which is fully dry, which is important. If you don't have one of these that you've used before, just use a clean plastic cup. And then you're just gonna start layering kind of however you want. I'm gonna start with a little bit of white. So I just oh no. I was stupid and tried to show you guys the paint and didn't remember that it was liquidy and gonna fall out, but that's okay. We have a man down, but we'll be fine. But look how pretty. So now I'm just gonna show you guys how we do the flip. Also, my hair went up because it is very hot. So I'm just gonna take the cup, put the canvas over it to kind of create this like seal, and then you just flip. It's really fun and a little terrifying. So yeah, and then whenever you're ready, you just lift it up. And then here's the fun part, just swirling it wherever you want. I obviously have a little less paint than I would have liked to have in here, but that's okay. And you're gonna just try to go to the corners as much as you can. I'm trying to show you guys. But yeah, what's really fun about this is there's really no way to mess it up. It looks cool no matter what you do, so there's no way to lose. And then I am just gonna take some gold paint that I have left, because I love adding like a little gold accent, and I'm literally just gonna drizzle it. Yep, just like that. I might do the same thing with a little bit of white, just a hint of white. Oh well, that was more than a hint, but that's okay. And then we just swirl. Again, it's the exact same process. That was like too much white for me, so I'm literally just gonna use my hands and take it off. you can also just use your fingers in this. I do that a lot. I like to create little swirls and stuff with my fingers. Again, there's no like right or wrong way to do this. I have paint all over me, so I have paint all over my camera, but this is what I'm working with right now. So we've just got the pink and the gold and the white, and it's all swirly and pretty and fun. And then you just let it sit for 24 hours, and in that 24 hours it might change a little bit, it might spread a little bit, and then you're done. So fun. Yeah, this is one of my favorite ways to create right now. Alright guys, well that was my video on how I acrylic pour. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I make new videos every single Saturday and I would love to have you. Hope you guys have a great day and I love you so much.